You entered the house, legs feeling heavier than ever. The silence between you and your husband felt heavier than it had ever been. The hospital visit was still echoing in both of your minds. Those words, "You won't be able to conceive." Those words shattered something deep inside both of you. You stood there numb, unable to find your voice or strength to take a step forward. The weight of that single truth was too much to bear. You looked at your husband and your heart shattered even more. He was never like this, so broken, so numb. You knew this was difficult for both of you. He hadn't said much since leaving the hospital. His eyes, which were always so sharp and confident, were now clouded by sadness you hadn't seen before, even though his expressions were still unreadable. But the way he stood there, pressing his lips together and lowering his head, told you everything. You both love kids, always dreamt of having a cute family, of filling this house with the sound of little feet and laughter. It was supposed to be a new chapter for you both, a future filled with happiness, and now it was gone, ripped away in an instant. You couldn't control yourself, even though your own heart was heavy with emotions. You knew he needed you. Jungkook, you softly called his name. Still, he said nothing. He just stood there, hands tightening into fists. You watched him, feeling your heart sink even deeper. He wasn't just quiet, he was retreating, pulling away, building walls around himself. It terrified you. "I'm sorry, I'm really sorry." Your heart clenched and you bit your lower lip. This was the first time he said something since you left the hospital. "Jungkook, please." You took a step towards him, but he flinched, as if your presence was a reminder of his own shame. His eyes flickered with pain as he finally looked at you, but there was something else behind it, a guilt so deep it seemed to crush him from the inside out. I couldn't give you what you wanted. It's my fault. You deserve better than this." You shook your head, your heart was breaking apart and you were trying to control your tears but failed. "No, Jungkook, it's not your fault. He cut you off, shaking his head. "You don't understand. I failed you. As your husband, I promised to make you happy, to give you everything, and now I can't even give you a family." His voice grew rough and his hands trembled even more. The vulnerability in his words were startling, so far from the strong, composed man you were used to seeing. His shoulders slumped as if the weight of the world had fallen on him all at once. The silence stretched on. You both have come a long way from learning to know each other, developing feelings for each other, trusting each other, to thinking about a family together. You both planned that after years of marriage, but then, after countless efforts, it failed. You reached for him again. Your fingers brushed against his hand, but he pulled away. He was blaming himself for this. "Jungkook, we'll get through this together." Your voice was filled with desperation, but he only stepped further away, his face twisted with anguish. I can't look at you knowing I'm the reason for this, knowing I'll never be able to make things right," he whispered, barely holding himself together. "Jungkook, please don't say that. I want nothing except you, and I'm happy with you. We'll get through this." He shook his head. His tears-filled eyes made your heart ache even more. "I thought I could protect you from everything, but this is something I can't fix." You could feel his pain as if it were your own, the guilt, the helplessness. He was always the protector, the one who held everything together, but now he was breaking and it scared you more than anything. Tears streamed down your face as you reached for him one last time. "I don't care about any of that, Jungkook. I just need you. We'll figure this out. Please don't blame yourself." For a moment, he stared at you, torn between the overwhelming guilt that was eating him alive and the love he still held for you. His expression softened. He came near you, I'm sorry, Ryan. You gave me so much happiness. You filled my life with so much good stuff. But I can't even give you one thing. I'm sorry. I know you deserve much better. You shook your head. This is what I deserve. I vowed to be with you in all the goods and odds. Nothing else matters more than you, Jungkook. I love you. He let out a weak smile but failed. His heart was ripping off. I don't know what I did to deserve you, but you definitely deserve better. I'm sorry, love. Saying that, he left in his room. You stood there knowing how much he was struggling inside. You slowly sat on the couch, tears falling from your eyes. The truth of the hospital visit hit you hard again. It wasn't you who couldn't conceive, it was him. The doctor had told you both the news earlier that day. Jungkook was infertile. He had taken the news in silence, barely speaking since then, blaming himself for everything, feeling like he had failed you. But you didn't care about that. You only cared about him. And now he was pulling away, unable to deal with the shame and guilt, while all you wanted was to hold him and let him know that none of this changed how much you loved him. It had been a week since the hospital visit, and things between you and Jungkook had started to shift. He has started to remain quiet most of the time, like he's trying to distance himself, and it was only increasing the sadness that came in your life. You both were sitting at the dining table. The clinking of silverware was the only sound filling the room. You looked at him. He wasn't eating. His eyes were fixed on the plate, but he didn't touch it. All this was so hard for you as well. This never happened before. Jungkook, you haven't eaten much. Are you okay? He didn't look up. He stabbed his fork into his food, moving it around absent-mindedly. I'm fine, just not hungry. You sighed. You have been saying that every night. You barely talk to me anymore. He finally glanced up at you, but there was a sadness in his eyes, one that told you he was struggling. I'm sorry, I'm just tired, Ryan. Work has been a lot. You knew that wasn't the real reason, but before you could say anything, he stood up from the table, taking his plate with him. I'll clean up. You should rest. Without another word, he walked into the kitchen, leaving you sitting there. Your heart was aching from the growing distance between you, and you feared this would destroy everything that had been built between you. The nights had become the hardest part. Jungkook would come to bed later and later, often waiting until he thought you were asleep. You lay in the dark, staring at the ceiling, listening to his soft footsteps as he entered the room. This time you didn't want to pretend you were sleeping. You turned over as he quietly slipped under the covers, immediately facing his back towards you. Jungkook, he stiffened at the sound of your voice. He must have thought you were asleep, even though you called him but didn't turn around. You already knew he's sensitive, but he was taking this thing too personally, that he's blaming himself for everything. It's late, Ryan. You should sleep. Why are you avoiding me? Jungkook sighed as if fighting with his own thoughts. I'm not avoiding you, I just need some time. You sat down a little frustrated now. Time for what? We are in this together, remember? You don't have to go through this alone. You don't have to blame yourself. Maybe I do. Maybe that's all I'm good for. Reached to him, wanting to hold him, to reassure him, but he shifted away. His distance was painfully clear. Good night, Ryan. You bit your lower lip, trying to control the urge of breaking into tears. You can't see him like this. It was hurting you more than him, but you knew that right now he is vulnerable and there's no use of forcing him to forget everything. You quietly lay down back while a tear escaped from your eyes. The mornings were always something you cherished. Waking up together, sharing coffee, the quiet moments before the day started. But now those moments were gone. You woke up alone most mornings. Jungkook already gone, leaving only a cold spot where he used to sleep. I won't let this continue, Jungkook, you said, looking at the empty spot beside you before getting up. You walked into the living room expecting Jungkook to be gone for work like he had been every morning recently, but this time he was still there, standing near the door, adjusting his tie. His movements were slow as though he was forcing himself to get ready. He has changed a lot in these past few days, always quiet, as if he's completely broken from inside and barely holding himself together. Although you feel shattered seeing him like this, but you decided to confront him. This was going way too far. You came near him slowly, your chest was heavy with emotions. You never thought days like this will ever come in your lives. Instead of holding each other at this moment, he was hurting himself and unknowingly hurting you as well. Good morning, you said, coming near him. Jungkook barely glanced at you, his eyes looked distant. Good morning, you are leaving early for work again? He looked at you briefly, his face was unreadable before turning back to his tie. Yeah, I have some things to take care of. Really? Funny how that never used to happen before. There was a sharp edge in your voice that you couldn't hide anymore. You stepped closer and Jungkook froze, sensing the tension. You had held back for too long and now it was all rushing out. Jungkook, why are you doing this? Why are you shutting me out? What did I do to you that you are punishing me? Jungkook's hand dropped from his tie, his eyes closed as if he didn't want to face this conversation. I'm not shutting you out. Before he could finish, you cut him. Yes, you are. You have been distant ever since we came back from the hospital. You don't talk to me, you don't touch me, you barely even look at me. Do you think I don't notice? Tears filled up in your eyes. The pain you had been bottling up finally started breaking through. Jungkook's expression softened, but there was a deep sadness there, as though he had been carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. I'm doing this for you, Ryan. Your voice broke, frustration and sadness started filling every word. For me? How is pushing me away supposed to help me? Jungkook took a deep breath, finally letting his guard down. He turned towards you and you saw the guilt and shame written all over his face. Because I'm the reason we can't have a family. I'm the one who's broken. I can't give you the one thing we have both dreamt of. Every time I see you, it kills me. I keep thinking she deserves better than this, better than me. His voice cracked and he looked down, unable to meet your eyes. Your heart clenched at the thought that you were right. He's blaming himself for everything. How can it be his fault? You still love him the same and nothing can change that. You should have someone who can give you a real family, not someone who's infertile. His words hung in the air, raw and painful. The silence between you was heavy and your heart broke hearing the depth of his self-blame. No, Jungkook, don't say that. You said, stepping closer and gently placed your hand on his cheek, forcing him to look at you. You are not broken. You are not less of a man because of this. We may not be able to have a biological child, but that doesn't change how much I love you. You are my family, Jungkook. You are everything to me. Jungkook's lips trembled and his eyes filled with tears he was trying so hard to hold back. But I feel like I've failed you. You have given me everything, Mayan. You have filled my life with so much happiness and I can't even give you a child. I can't give you what you deserve. Your heart broke for him. You could see how much pain he was in, how deeply he believed he was letting you down. Jungkook, stop. You're not failing me. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is you. He looked at you, his eyes looked pleading. How can you say that? We talk about starting a family for years. Now it's not even possible. I feel like I'm taking that dream away from you. You held his face between your hands. Your own tears started flowing freely now. You're not taking anything away from me. And who says we can't still have a family? We can adopt, Jungkook. There are so many children out there who need parents, who need love. We can give them that together. Jungkook blinked, as though he hadn't considered that before, as if he had been too trapped in his own self-loathing to see the possibilities. His voice was fragile when he spoke. Adopt? Yes, adopt. It's not about blood, Jungkook. Family is about love, and we have so much love to give. There's nothing wrong with building our family that way. In fact, it would be beautiful. We could be parents, we could give a child a home, love. Jungkook's walls started to crumble, his emotions started breaking free. He leaned into your touch, closing his eyes as tears spilled down his cheeks. I don't know what I did to deserve you. You're so much stronger than I am. You shook your head, wiping away his tears with your thumb. No, Jungkook, you're strong too. You're just hurting, and it's okay to feel that way. But don't push me away. We are in this together, remember? We always said we would face everything together. He opened his eyes, gazing at you with a mix of love and disbelief. I'm so sorry for shutting you out, for hurting you. I just didn't know how to face you, but I just made it worse. You don't have to protect me from this. We are a team and we'll get through this together. I love you and I don't want anyone else. Child or no child, you are the love of my life. You come first, always. Jungkook's arms wrapped around you then, pulling you into his chest as he held you tightly. His body shook with quiet sobs as he finally let go of the guilt he had been carrying for so long. I love you so much, Ryan. I'm sorry. You buried your face in his chest, holding him just as tightly in your arms. I love you too, Jungkook. We're going to be okay. We'll find our way no matter what, and we'll do it together. He slowly caressed his back. He was hugging you as if he had planned to never let you go. Of course, this is a difficult situation for both of you, especially him, but you will never let him down. Never make him feel he's at loss. You love him so much. In that moment, wrapped in each other's arms, the weight of everything you had been carrying seemed a little lighter. There was still pain, still loss, but there was also love, and as long as you had that, you knew you could get through anything.